With me now to discuss the legality of all of this is Sundeep Gokhale, employment and labor lawyer and partner at Shared Cause LLP. Hi there. Thanks so much for being with us.
No problem.
So we have just heard from the Labour Relations Board deeming this an illegal strike. Your response to that, and ultimately, what does that mean?
It's really no surprise that the Canadian Industrial Relations Board deemed this to be an illegal strike. The directive was, and the order was clear as of Saturday afternoon, and it was just defiance from CUPE. And so Air Canada bringing the application and the CIRB ultimately making this determination shouldn't have come to a surprise to anyone.
The union is advising workers to defy the return to work order. They say it's unconstitutional, and at airports across the country, we are seeing those flight attendants out in full force. They are taking their orders from union leadership. Ultimately, what does this mean for them? What case can they make for defying the order?
Well, you're right. The employees are definitely showing us a significant level of solidarity as it comes to this issue. I think the issue that everyone needs to understand is CUPE will have the opportunity to argue that Section 107 of the Canadian Industrial Relations or the Canada Labour Code is in fact unconstitutional. They'll have that opportunity. The issue is it can't be dealt with right now through an illegal work stoppage. And so what they're asking employees to do right now is surprising, to say the least, given the orders and the direction from the minister as well as now the Canadian Industrial Relations Board.
Surprising why?
Surprising in that it's just defiance. We haven't seen this type of defiance in quite a long time in terms of an outright refusal, despite government orders as well and legal decisions requiring employees to return to work.
What are the potential consequences, if any, for CUPE membership for telling these people to stay out?
Well, there is precedent going back to the 70s where union leaders were jailed as a result of similar conduct and this level of defiance. I'm not sure we're going to see that here, but a lot will tell in terms of what CUPE's now response is to the Canadian Industrial Relations Board's decision, calling this an illegal strike.
Big picture, Sundeep, and this is not your thoughts, I just want to be clear about this. This seems to be getting messier, if you will, by the day. You're agreeing. Now what? Where does this go from here? If you were advising either side, what would you say to find some sort of resolution, again, with thousands of people, thousands of travelers caught in the middle?
Well, I think CUPE did a fantastic job of outlining what the real issue was, which is the unpaid work for that flight attendants had. I think now with this outright refusal for flight attendants to work, I think public perception is going to change and put some pressure on CUPE now to follow the legal orders to return to work. So from a big picture perspective, I think it would be advisable for CUPE to come back to work. The parties can still negotiate this, and CUPE will have every opportunity to argue and for the paid work portions of, before a flight and after a flight through the arbitration process. It's not a lost cause. They'll have that opportunity to argue it, and it's up to an arbitrator to ultimately decide if they're going to grant that or not.
Sundeep Gokhale is an employment and labor lawyer. Thank you so much. Really glad that you could join us today with your perspective.